Hello, Traveller, and welcome back to Shadows of Doubt with me, Chugs. So this is episode 2 of our ongoing investigation. During the first part, we basically pieced together that a man has been killed in his apartment, Mark Vandenberg, and we identified a receipt from a diner where he was meeting with one of his friends, Sisha, who we just talked to. And it turns out that Mark was actually scared of a hitman. He thinks someone called Junzu is after him. Sisha gave us the location of a bar where he might be found. And we have a couple of other leads to follow up, including where did the killer get their gun from? So we have a note here implicating some place called the Pink Hardware Company. And we have finally a piece of physical evidence tying the murderer to the crime scene, which is a fingerprint. So if we can figure out who this fingerprint belongs to, we've got a pretty good idea of who the killer is. So before we go ahead, we're going to check out this sync disk, which apparently was being left for us by Mark, or by Sisha via Mark. And what we're going to do there is basically install some sort of mod by the sounds of things, a little bit Bioshocky, which will hopefully give us some kind of, I don't know, supernatural detective power, who knows. Lord knows my brain does need a boost. So here we are, 302 Burntower's Tower's mailbox. We've got a sync disk, which gives us a slightly larger inventory, which is nice, given that we actually didn't have any space in our inventory after all anyway. Why, hello there, sir. How are you? Okay, that's an irrelevant note as far as I can tell. So if we look at our case board, we've got this bar that we can go and have a look at, or else we can go check out the Pink Hardware Company. And I think we're going to do that first, because going to a bar where a killer's potentially hanging out without any evidence or really idea of who he is, probably not a great idea. So first things first, we're going to find ourselves a phone so we can take a look at the directory, which will then help us to figure out where this business actually is. I'm not sure we actually know that at the moment, do we? No, so we know that a place called the Pink Hardware Company exists. We don't know anything else about it at the moment. That hand sign looks like it's going into the clinic to install that disc, which, you know, we might as well do. We're in the area. And this is the home of our victim, Luo Terrace, I believe, as well. So we don't need to go back in there anytime soon. Awesome. So we're going to open this place up. We're going to get in this sync bed and we're going to install a new disk. So I'm going to say that the capacity is actually going to be more useful without understanding any of the consequences or anything. And off we go. We're now synced up. Alright, we can also look for, as the objective has just reminded me, we can also look for the suspect themselves if we find a city directory with a phone. So we're going to do that as well. So just to remind myself, that is Junzu, who we're going to be examining. Just thinking about where a phone might be. There was one in the restaurant we were just at. I assume that there's one in most other diners and things like that. Is this place open? Nope, got a red light, which doesn't sound good. Is this a place we can go? Okay, this is Burn Tower's lobby. That's where we just were. My bad. What about this? The coral hair, isn't that? Okay, well, this is where he was last seen, or where he's suspected to be. So we'll give that one a miss just for the moment. We'll come back when it's open. No need to do anything too illegal at this stage. We'll just stroll across the main city while we're here. Okay, City Hall, you've got to have a phone that we can use, haven't you? Yeah, that looks like a phone to me. Awesome, so we're going to inspect the city directory. So we've got two things we're looking for. One's the Pink Hardware Company and one is June Zoo. So we go down to Z. I suspect there won't be many of those. Here we go. J Zoo. He lives in the Dell Towers. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark that against that persona. Won't visit it just yet, but we'll probably take a look shortly. And then we've got the Pink Hardware Company, so we'll just go to P, and then we'll find the address here. So it's along, it's within Mad Towers or Mal Towers. Let's go and get ourselves pointed in that direction. Okay, great. So we're going to walk to where we think the killer bought their gun. And the password is Admiral, which we found out from the note within our victim's apartment. So we're just going to walk over there, see if we can dig around. Hopefully it won't be too much trouble, given that we've already got the password. Although, whether you can arrest someone for running a gun shop here, not sure. Okay, it is Mao Towers. Fair enough. Let's head down to the basement here. And not sure how I feel about these quest markery type things, but it does tell us where we need to go. And here is the Pink Hardware Company. So we're going to knock on the door. We're going to see what we can find out. Hello there, citizen. I know the password. I suspect this will open you up. So it's Admiral, as we saw from our notes a little bit earlier. And that does turn out to be the correct password, which is great. Now, what's your name? Nothing to do with me. Well, quite right. Have you seen anything unusual? Doesn't want to talk to me. Do you know... Wow, I didn't even ask you who it was, and you're still not interested in talking to me. What are your opening hours? Okay, 24 hours, that's good to know. Every day, beautiful. Can I have your fingerprints? Wow, really? Okay, great. So at least we got that. And then, have you seen or heard anything unusual? No. Okay, great. So we're going to end the conversation there. Let's see if we can just walk in and take a poke around. So this is the Pink Hardware Company. It looks like a place where you could buy yourself a few guns if you wanted them. Some ballistic armor there as well. And here is our proprietor. I'm sure they won't mind if we just pick up this sales record sheet here. Okay, so we're looking for someone who bought a gun yesterday, so the 2nd of January 1979. 10:30, 1st of January 1979, that is just before the murder was committed. And look who we have here, we have June. So you did indeed buy a gun from the Pink Hardware Company just before that crime was committed. So we've got a Lazarus 5, a pistol silencer, and some rifle ammunition, which June bought, which suggests to me that he's probably pretty dangerous, and we might not want to confront him directly for now. Otherwise, this all seems to be perfectly above board. I bid you good day. Okay, so that's good. We've got a little bit of information out of that. We know that June did indeed buy that gun. Again, why that note was left in the apartment of our victim is extremely confusing. So the note says, tonight you need a piece, go to the Pink Hardware Company, knock, give them the password, and that's from someone called Jay, which presumably is June. But then why would he leave this sticky note on the wall at the victim's apartment? Either that's just a oversight, or it's relevant to the plot. I mean, he was trying to buy himself a life insurance policy, was our victim, so maybe this is like a staged hit on himself. He did look at that self-help group as well, but far too early to be picking up those kind of details. All right, let's go and check out the address that is linked to our main suspect then. And hopefully he isn't there, because that would be very, very bad for us, I think, at this stage. All right. So here is the building, Vidal Towers. We need to get ourselves up to the 11th floor, so we're going to take the lift like a civilized human being. And it's going to take us upstairs, where I guess we're going to just hope for the best at this stage. See if we can get into his apartment, have a look around at least. I'm not sure what an echelon zone is. Okay. So we're not even allowed to get near his front door. And there is a security camera right there and some sort of turret right there. It's possible that we could sneak in through a vent somewhere. But otherwise, this is looking like a little bit of a dead end for us. Is there some way that we could check this area for fingerprints? I don't know what you might be touching around here. Potentially a light switch. So those fingerprints aren't relevant to our investigation. Nor are those. Type D, type E, type F, type G, type H, type G, type I, type J. Okay, so I think what we're learning here is that a lot of people use this elevator. Although curiously, the type A prints that we're looking for have not shown up here, even though in theory our main suspect lives in that flat there, 1102. Okay, we'll have to come back to this later. For now, we're going to head back down to the ground floor. Okay, so if we think about this, that's a dead end for now, although we think that's its address based on the address book. We've still got this bar to check out. We've still got the workplace of Mark Vandenberg to check out, which is Purple Management, which I forgot to mention a little bit earlier. Oh, why not? We'll scan a few more fingerprints while we're here. Again, nothing suggesting that our main suspect has actually been around here, which would be a shame because we haven't really got a lot more to go on. Okay, let's open this door and let's head over to Purple Management. What time is it? So it's 9 till 5 working hours, I think we saw in a note in Mark's apartment. It might be that we just need to pass a bit of time here unless we go and check out this bar, which I think was closed when we looked a moment ago. But depending on how their security is, that might not necessarily be a barrier. I mean, it's definitely not open. But does anybody care if we go in here? Okay, it's locked. Could we go in here? Okay, that's a different building. It just seems too risky to break in at this stage. So that will have to wait until it's open. Purple management, I expect, will be a very similar story. So if we take a walk down the street here, I mean, I hope for their sake that they're not working at this time. We're going to the 7th floor. Let's call the elevator down. That back up. And then let's have a quick look, see if anyone's around. No. So 4:55 AM, unsurprisingly, nobody seems to be about. Does look like it'd be possible for us to break in, but there is a camera here, and there is a security system very much in place. So I think what we're going to have to do is have a little sit down and then pass a bit of time until we're able to crack this case. So sometimes that's how it goes with detective work. We're just putting in the legs at the moment, but hopefully next time we'll get some real concrete progress in tracking down our suspect and identifying who killed Mark Vandenberg.